I'd like to welcome you here today. Thank you for coming and watching this 5-part video course. This is the AlchemEnergy, transforming pain and suffering into peace, freedom, and fulfillment. This is a method, and the reason I'm bringing it forth now is that I've been observing for many years the increasing pain and suffering, which is almost climactic at this point on the planet. And due to many distractions in my life, mistakes I've made, paths that I've taken that have constantly distracted from this sacred work of healing, it has taken me quite a while to get back here and share this brief but powerful method of transforming pain and suffering. Now, there is nothing to buy. I'm not trying to sell anything. I am sharing what I have been taught, the divine truths that I've been taught that are miraculous in their strength and their power with you. There is no obligation, there is no cost. There is, however, an agreement, if you continue to watch this, that you take full responsibility for your welfare, your happiness, your health, and your well-being in watching this and applying the techniques that I will teach you here. And that you use this on no one besides yourself, okay? This is for personal use only. So what I want to do, first of all, my name again is Lily Finch. And I'm going to tell you more about me in just a moment. First, I again want to thank you and welcome you to this 5-part AlchemEnergy Energy Transformation Series. And I want to talk about the purpose of the video. I do feel compelled at this point to share this technique. I have had opportunity many times to observe the pain and suffering, especially of our young adults, but everyone is suffering a great deal, to share what I've learned about the source of suffering and how quick and simple it is to go from pain and suffering, depression, despair, suicidality, physical pains, physical chronic pain, and all kinds of suffering and pain into very fast release and very quick peace, complete peace in moments, in just minutes. There are some things that I have to share with you before we get to that. Who I am, again, is Lily Finch, and for many years I did work as a caseworker, working with the seriously mentally ill, the troubled youth, drug addicts, marriage counseling. I was a spiritual advisor more than anything. And in this video, I am going to share the things that I learned over a 25-year period of my life that was very almost calamitous, troubling, painful. And I can tell you that Source God uses us and is with us, not despite the many things that we experience or the things that we cause in our lives from our choices, but because of those things. And so for a 25-year period, and continuing on to this day, I continued to experience almost supernatural things occurring to me. Dreams, visions, visitations of angels. I once asked a question, what God wanted me to do with my life, what path he wanted me to take, she wanted me to take, they wanted me to take. Elohim is plural. So what path was I to take that would use the skills and abilities that I had, the truths that I had been given from the Spirit, and the need that was in the universe. And as I boarded a plane with this prayer in my heart, I sat and immediately got an instantaneous download of the book Butterfly Medicine, Metamorphosis from Caterpillar to Butterfly, Woman, for women and men, to Goddess, God or Goddess. And in this book was multiple languages were streamed into my mind and my heart, distilled upon my heart, that try and attempt to speak to the power, purpose, and potential of all human beings, including sacred text, religious text, music, mathematics, science, geometry, indigenous wisdom, nature wisdom. All of these things are languages that attempt to explain the unexplainable or the divine, which does distill upon our souls bit by bit as we're willing to receive it. Later, this book morphed again into the AlchemEnergy Codex. I will have these available free of charge, these texts available free of charge. So what was contained within those were so powerful, they came through me and not from me. And these experiences brought an understanding. I was able to discern what was at the source of people's suffering and pain, what was causing it, where they were stuck, what was happening and what had happened to them, where they had perceived their value so low that their actions became a match to those core beliefs. Now, some of the things that I was shown, I'm going to share with you real quickly. The first was how energy works, that the universe is, and everything in it, is nothing more or less than vibrating particles and waves of energy. I was shown and came to understand that what determined the waves and energy formations was emotion, which is energy in motion. And that all emotions come from two core emotions, love and fear. Now, love always works. It's almost impossible to explain it, what it is. There really is no description without reducing it. But it always works to bring us peace, freedom, and fulfillment. Fear, on the other hand, never works. And as energies, we cannot long suppress, deny, or resist, and we cannot destroy energy. They must be transformed. What I mean by this is that the emotions of pain and suffering or any other fear-based emotion, you cannot deny it, you cannot avoid it, and you cannot long suppress it without causing disease in the body and a lot of external fears, pains, suffering as a result of the choices of your beliefs of fear. Now, most of these are on the subconscious level. They've been caused by events, teachings, beliefs that are passed on to us both genetically by our parents' beliefs and thoughts, and the things that we chose to think or perceive based on events that have happened to us just in the first few years of life. Since most of them are on the subconscious level, most people ask at this point, what am I supposed to do or know if it's on the subconscious level? How could I possibly know what is causing my problems? And I answer that question by saying, look at the fruit. We know what the core motive or belief is, whether it be love or fear, based on the result in our life. So we follow that trail, just like following the money or following the little crumb trail through the woods. We follow that trail very simply and easily through just a 4-step method that I'm going to share with you in the subsequent videos. And so basically energy cannot be denied, suppressed, avoided, and it cannot be destroyed. it must be transformed. We know that. We know that on a scientific level. I was also shown that we are energetically, as human beings, very, very much like a large, exquisite, multifaceted diamond energetically. Only the diamond of who we are is covered in mud and clay. The mud and clay represents our beliefs and our thoughts about who we are and why we're here. And as our pain and suffering surfaces, it serves such a great purpose in showing to us what it is that we are now ready and willing to know. And the truth that we are now willing to know is about who we are and why we are here. The other thing that I could see is that as we transform our energy, we climb a pyramid of consciousness that I was shown in the sacred geometry of the AlchemEnergy Codex. And as we rise in consciousness, each step, each time we remove the mud and clay on another facet of the diamond of who we are. So we will rise and circle that pyramid over and over. We go round and round the pyramid, and we take a leap in consciousness straight up to the next level of the pyramid each time we go through this process of transforming energy. I was shown very clearly, came to understand that the truth always, always, always sets us free. So if we are living in pain and having a lot of suffering, it's as a result of believing in a lie. I'll say that again. The truth always, always sets us free to live in peace, freedom, and fulfillment. Therefore, if we are suffering and in pain, it is as a result of believing and thinking in something that is not the truth. So again, take responsibility for your happiness, for your well-being, for your welfare. Use this for yourself only. There is nothing to buy. There's nothing that I'm selling. I'm sharing with you the gifts that the Spirit has given to me, the truths that the Spirit has given to me that have transformed mine and many others' lives. And I want to share these with you. Stay tuned for video 2. Welcome to the AlchemEnergy Transforming Pain and Suffering into Peace, Freedom, and Fulfillment 5-video course. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for being here. My name is Lily Finch, and I will tell you a little bit more about me and where this miraculous information came from. First, I'd like to talk about the purpose of this course. I have, for more than 30 years, been watching, observing, teaching, training, and writing about the transformation of energy based on some miraculous events that I had in my life. The purpose, of course, is the pain and suffering that I feel of others. I realize that I cannot fix others, and I realize that there's perfection in our pain and our suffering. And as I began to write the things that were coming to me, I did eventually stumble upon and was taught that there's a very quick way to transform pain and suffering into peace very, very quickly. The pain and suffering on our planet is growing. And it's been difficult for 30 years for me to observe this because I've always been able to see the source of one's suffering and pain and where they get stuck. What's happening that's causing them to feel and experience this pain and suffering. Today, it is at an all-time high. Pain and suffering is at an all-time high. And there are required steps that we have to take in order to get to the place where we have peace and freedom and fulfillment. I will share these throughout these 5 videos. This is video 1, and as you can tell by observing what's on the planet and in your own heart today, fear is at an all-time high. Pain and suffering is at an all-time high. Hatred, vice, venom, hiding, distorting, projecting, until we have ramped up our collective pain to such levels of despair and hopelessness and terror and suicidality and drug addiction is rampant, trying to numb the pain, and none of it works. I'm going to share with you what does work. First, I'll tell you a little bit about me. For 25 and some years, I have experienced supernatural things that have distilled upon my soul and my heart the truth of what creates peace and fulfillment. I've had dreams, I've had visions, and even entire books with their concepts downloaded, distilled upon my heart and my mind instantaneously from asking aligning questions of God or Source. Those things are contained in the book Butterfly Medicine, Metamorphosis from Caterpillar to Butterfly, Woman to Goddess, and its morphed version, AlchemEnergy Codex. So when I sat on a plane and asked the all-aligning question of what God wanted me to do, what path I was to take, knowing the things that I had been given, the skills and abilities that I had, and the need that was in the universe, Butterfly Medicine came to me instantaneously, along with sacred geometry truths, scientific truths, sacred religious text truths, indigenous wisdom truths, entertainment in the way of music and videos that all came together into one whole that showed the purpose, power, and potential of all human beings. Those are all languages which try to explain the mysteries of God. And I was shown beautiful, pure, simple truths that I will share with you in the course of these videos. Some of the things that I learned was that God is with us not despite the mistakes we make or the lessons we create for ourselves, but because of them, in the midst of them. Because that was certainly the case for me. I learned how energy works. I was taught how energy works. I was taught that everything in our universe is energy, nothing more or less than vibrating particles and waves of energy. These particles and waves of energy are formed. They're made into physical form through energy in motion or emotion. As energy, emotions cannot be avoided, denied, suppressed, and they cannot be destroyed. So I'll say that again. Emotion is energy in motion. It is what causes physical formation to occur into whatever we see or do not see. As energies, emotions cannot be long suppressed, denied, repressed, without causing disease in the body and all kinds of suffering and pain. They must be transformed. The last thing I'll share here with you on this first introduction video is that this massively wonderful, amazing, and freeing truth. And that is that the truth always sets us free to experience peace, freedom, and fulfillment. Therefore, if we are in pain and are suffering, it is as a result of thinking and believing things that are not true. I'll say this one more time. The truth always, always sets us free. Therefore, if we are suffering and in pain, it is as a result of believing in something that is not the truth. There is a disclaimer if you continue to go forward, and that is your agreement, if you proceed to the next videos, is that you use this only on yourself and no one else. You may share the videos with others at will. They are free of cost. There is nothing I'm selling to you. There's nothing to buy. These are a free gift, just as they were a free gift to me through the source. Share them with your friends at will, but use them only on yourself. The second thing is that you take full responsibility for your well-being and your happiness. If you proceed, you are agreeing to take full 100% accountability and responsibility for your well-being. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.